and ITV Hub.
All the latest now. It's time for the ITV News at 10.
We often talk about history being made in this street, but the last 24 hours have been unique. In the last century, no, forget that, the last 3 centuries, it's hard to recall any departure quite as catastrophic and frankly humiliating. As dawn broke over number 10 today, the Prime Minister was still holed up, dreaming of survival. And you could pick your statistic. Almost 50 ministers or members of the government gone. 3 education secretaries in 3 days, ministers saying he should resign even as they refused to do so themselves. But finally, at lunchtime, the definitive admission, it was over.
I know that there will be many people who are relieved and perhaps quite a few who will also be disappointed. And I want you to know how sad I am to be giving up the best job in the world. But them's the breaks.
As his wife and a small band of supporters watched, there was little sense of humility. The decision to remove him was, he said, eccentric.
The herd instinct is powerful. When the herd moves, it moves. And my friends, in politics, no one is remotely indispensable.
It was a brutal end to a remarkable political career, his children waiting inside, a reminder of the human emotions amidst the tumult. But even his statement this lunchtime did not end the fierce debate about his future. Should he be allowed to stay on until a new leader is chosen? Many Tory MPs were clear, absolutely not.
He should leave office at the earliest possible opportunity, and preferably today.
It will not be tenable for him to continue as a caretaker if he cannot fill the ministerial appointments he needs to.
Who are the runners and riders for the succession? Rishi Sunak tops polls with the public, but it is the party that will choose. If the Prime Minister is to be changed, what about Tory party policy? Will we see tax cuts? The government's financial watchdog has a catastrophic warning on the public finances. And his was a rise and fall like no other. How did a man who won his party such a huge majority only a short time ago end up leaving office like this?
From Downing Street, this is ITV News at 10 with Tom Bradby.
Good evening. His enemies said nothing characterised the man like the manner of his parting. And if his supporters would take bitter issue with that, there can be no argument about what we've witnessed these past 24 hours. A man who just could not seem to accept defeat. Boris Johnson has always defied convention, and today was no exception. He is going, but not gone. He wants a soft exit to stay on here in Downing Street as Prime Minister until the autumn and a successor has been chosen. He's even begun a reshuffle of ministers to take him through to October or November, which is making many of his MPs more than a touch jittery. In the end, Mr. Johnson had no choice but to step down. A morning rush hour of further ministerial resignations forced his hand. His government was simply imploding. So, this lunchtime, standing here in Downing Street, the Prime Minister described his sadness at giving up what he called the best job in the world. There was no apology, but there was some recrimination. He blamed what he called the herd instinct of Westminster for being forced into this change of mind. But again, as he put it, them's the breaks.